Hello there, and welcome
Hello.
along to the Extended Cut with your host
Mark?
and Noah. And today we are going to be reviewing the new Arcade Fire album.
Everything now.
And as you might already know, Arcade Fire are a band who've been going around for a long time.
Since the early part of the noughties.
2001.
Yeah, that's right.
They are a Canadian indie rock band who
Rose to prominence, didn't they?
rose to prominence in
Yeah.
the early noughties.
That's right.
And they really became a quintessential hipster group. So Arcade Fire's first album, Funeral, which was released in 2004, that really put Arcade Fire on the map, because before they were very underground,
Yeah, right.
with hipsters and everything, and then they broke into the mainstream, and basically a lot of their fans started disliking them because they claimed they'd sold out.
Yeah.
Now, even though Arcade Fire and their fans had apparently sold out, their music hadn't really changed at all from the early
That's
stuff.
quite consistent.
It was still
yeah.
it was still folky indie rock
Hipster.
/ art rock,
Oh, right.
and that's basically the formula they stuck by.
It's been consistently good, successful for them, hasn't it?
Arcade Fire's fifth album, I believe, and this album is covered in all those dance sounds that they tried to put a little bit of on their previous record, and now with this new record, it's covered in dance, isn't it?
It is. Well, yeah.
Now this is my personal first proper listen to Arcade Fire before. I've never heard a full album by them before, and I thought you
No, not for a long time.
I thought you
Not for a
listened
long
to
time.
Funeral.
Well, it's a long time ago. So this is for me. It's a long time as well.
And when I was coming into this record, I was very much expecting a very folk-driven indie rock, artsy rock effort here. Instead, I get a face full of synth pop 80s tunes.
Absolutely.
I mean, I didn't expect that. Did you?
No, not at all. It's like a fusion. There's no sort of 80s music, which is electro, funk, pop. It's a combination of
It's
things.
just-
I'm just confused, really.
I'm just confused.
with what they've come up with this time, and it's a combination of all those genres, really.
Certainly interesting.
And it's very interesting, and intriguing. Yeah.
Looking at the album itself, when you play the album, the first thing that hits you is this. It's basically like an intro to the whole album. It starts off with these weird, confusing synths that's going everywhere. They're not going in any direction. The song's called "Everything Now Continued," and it just goes all together, and then it builds up into this big ball of sound
Fusion
and sound, and you can really feel that there's something big, and a lot of stuff is going to be combined within the next 45 minutes or something. And it kind of builds into this big crescendo, and then boom,
And it's gone. It's ended.
boom. That's the end of the track. You're on to the second. As soon as the second track starts, you know you're into this lovely album ahead, because you're greeted straight away by these lovely strings and piano on the track "Everything Now," which is the title track, and it's just a perfect summer tune. It's a really good summer tune, because for barbecuing or whatever, just relaxing in the sun or whatever.
Yeah.
You can really imagine yourself like, well, I would do it, but I don't know about you. But I can really imagine myself like on somebody's shoulders, with a cider in my hand, in an open air festival, singing along to this song, and it's just one of those big festival banging tunes, and it's really nice summer tune,
Yeah.
really nice. I really enjoyed this tune, and like it was really a tune that stuck out for me in my head.
It was very good. I mean, it was good. It was really like party sound, party music, festival, happy-go-lucky. It's that type of song, reminiscent of a lot of 80s music. We'll come to that in a second. But it's it's good party music and happy-go-lucky. It was really good, feel good sound. But with very much an 80s genre and reminiscent very much of the Pet Shop Boys. I felt the general sound. But that shouldn't put off at what is a really nice sounding song.
But you know that 80s feel that we went on about earlier, it doesn't actually begin, I feel, until the third track, which is Signs of Life. This is a really camp and colourful gay club track.
Yeah.
And it's one of those songs that will make you want to dance and groove along with funky bass line and funky trumpets. It's a really groovy song, and I love it. I love it. I think it's a really good song.
Happy sound.
Really good happy sound, and it's just one of those songs that you'll definitely want to dance to, especially if you're into like bands like Pet Shop Boys.
Pet Shop Boys, Talking Heads.
Or bands like that. It's really I think that really kicks this 80s theme off into this album.
Yeah, I mean, if you're into, say, Pet Shop Boys, Talking Heads, perhaps a bit of Depeche Mode in there, it all there's a combination of those sounds which come through, and it enhances it really. But it's an obvious influence is there on this track. There's no question about that. It is. It's pleasant. It's nice. Enjoyed it, but it's definitely that a lot of influence from that type of genres.
80s feel continues throughout this album. It really is like a mix of all these synth pop and even just pop bands from the 80s. It just kind of combines them all together. Like you'll hear bits from Depeche Mode, Talking Heads, ABBA, Blondie,
Blondie as well, yeah.
Kraftwerk,
Yeah.
Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah.
It's just like a complete combination of them all, and it just dominates this whole album. Like, are there any standout? There's any standout dance songs for you? That
Yeah, I think Creature Comfort is one. So stands out as one. That's very much so, and it's foot's on the accelerator there throughout. Great to dance to, great to sort of there's about dance tracks in clubs, and that's one that would play quite a lot actually, and that's unrelenting. It just keeps going the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Very much Creature Comfort.
It's very it has a really good dance feel to it. And it's just a really really dancey album. The album itself, it isn't all 80s dance cliches and all this. There are other bits of the 80s in it, like in the track Chemistry. It weirdly, for some reason, it mixes reggae with like 80s glam rock, and it's just weird. It's very simple song. It's very repetitive, but it's good, and I like it. And also the song Infinite Concert, and the part one of that song is very punky, very upbeat, and I don't know if people will know this band, but they're a bit of a post Britpop band. They're called Feeder. If you don't know them, check them out. They always have this kind of like punkish song on their album, like a really quick punky song, and that song really reminded me of them. And it also has like this emotional strings in the background of it, and then in the Infinite Content 2, you get a complete little different change, and it turns into like a country
Yeah,
Simon and Garfunkel
yeah, that's right.
with emotional strings and a much more slower tempo to it, and you're just like wondering what the hell just happened. I mean, and it's and again simple song, simple lyrics. I mean, if I dived into lyrics more, I'll probably get more out of them. But simple lyrics because it just repeats, but it's effective.
Well, it is effective, yeah. It's truly. I mean, all those genres, you know, all those sort of different types of artists and everything, as Nurse just mentioned, put together. It's just enjoy. You know, you're halfway through the album, yeah, but when you're about halfway through the album, you know, it's truly entertaining album. I mean, the quality of the music, I personally wouldn't say is that high, but it's still entertaining, and it's a great sing along. You know, there's so much in there.
Very enjoyable.
And it's enjoyable. It's relaxing, but as I say, not at a high in terms of quality.
I'd say it's more relaxing at some points. Not the majority. The majority of it is very like hands on deck kind of thing. But yeah, they do have some points.
Yeah.
That 80s sound, though, I feel does die out near the end of the album when Good Goddamn it starts, the very, very sexy Good Goddamn comes on, and I think that's when it starts to go more 20th century again.
Yeah, I think it does, but I think we slightly disagree on this because I think that David Byrne's singing on this track, but I know he's not. Will Butler is the lead vocalist in Arcade Fire. It just sounds so much like him, and it's just reminiscent of David Byrne Talking Heads singing. It's a good song, I like it, but it's just so reminiscent, and the influence there. So I think it's still slipping back into that 80s phase again, which is reminiscent.
Well, the funny thing is, even about Good Goddamn being, I think, goes more into the 21st century because it's more chill, relaxing. I think the next track afterwards, Put Your Money on Me, is very 80s.
Yeah, that.
And it's very gay and camp again.
Yeah.
Put your money on.
Put your money. Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I agree.
And then I think and then after that, I think it goes back into the 21st century. Yes, again with We Don't Deserve Love, which is a really nice track. It slows the tempo down the album, and then finally it just kind of ends, doesn't it? With everything now.
Which is very elbowish.
The string arrangement I feel was very much like Elbow.
Yeah.
I don't think the song itself was, but it just reminded me a bit like Elbow. You know. After the album finished, you know, generally I just got the feeling straight away in my head that I knew this was gonna piss off, to say it frankly, a lot of the Arcade Fire fans, because it's very much nothing like the old kind of sound, and it's very much dance filled, and I do like it. I mean, but saying that, I mean there are hints on the album that are a bit like Arcade Fire's old stuff. I think We Don't Deserve Love, and also you said Peter Pan, didn't you?
Peter Pan, about halfway through, I think it was track 5, Peter Pan, which I felt was go back to the Arcade Fire.
I think to be honest with you, if Peter Pan was old Arcade Fire, I think it wasn't the best because I just find it a bit dull. But I like We Don't Deserve Love. That's a really standout track for me anyway, personally.
I agree with it. I liked it as well. No, I really liked it.
Even though it is a bit long. But to be honest, if this does really annoy Arcade Fire fans, in my opinion, I don't really care because I really enjoyed this album, and I'm sure Arcade Fire themselves feel that way as well, because I think that was their aim, to have a very much 80s themed album, because I believe like Daft Punk worked with them, who are very much 80s influence, and also Pulp as well.
Oh, right.
Help them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an album that just and if you like 80s music, generally I think you will like this album, because it hints at so many artists, so many 80s artists. Can you name some of them?
Yeah, I mean, the artist Kraftwerk, we mentioned before, Kraftwerk, obviously talking against Depeche Mode, Tears for Fears, Pulp, there's a lot, Blur perhaps.
Pulp and Blur were 90s.
Were they 90s?
Yes,
They were 80s.
they're 90s.
Oh, they were 90s, sorry.
But a bit of 90s.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
But a bit of 90s creeps in.
Yeah, maybe just. But those, yeah, certainly the ones we've mentioned already were Pet Shop Boys is the main influence, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
To go back to that track, Put Your Money on Me, was that I enjoyed this album. It was an enjoyable listen.
Me personally, this album does excite me, and it does excite me for what Arcade Fire might have in the future, and I might check out their earlier stuff as well, because I did enjoy this album. I'm willing to give anything a go, and it just makes me excited, and I think it's a really good album. Standout tracks for me include Everything Now, brilliant song tune, Chemistry, weird, weird and simple, that's why I like it, and We Don't Serve Love, and that's just a nice song, long, I think it's 6 minutes,
It is.
but it's worth it. It's just a nice tune. But so, with all that being said, I have to give this album a 7.5, maybe 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely a strong 7, maybe an 8. I'm not sure yet. But I would definitely recommend you listening to this album at least, because it is worth a try, and it is a good fun album, How about you, Dad?
I'll give it 6 out of 10. This sort of music I've heard before. The influence is there. It's too much influence, really. They're losing their own identity, really, because too much influence. But it is, to be fair, it is a good listen. It was entertaining. It was enjoyable. But I can't give it any more than 6 out of 10. And I do say listen. Really give this a really good listen. We listened to it several times, and do give it a good listen before.
But it is a good album, and I enjoyed it. So, whatever you might enjoy it, I'd recommend it. So, anyway. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed our review. This is the extended cut here, signing off with Noah, and let me just get you.
I'm in there, Mark.
Yeah. Hope to see you next week. We're sorry that this has come out late, but we have had other things to do, so and we've been doing other stuff, so this might be a bit late. So get in the shot anyway.
I'm getting the shot now. I wasn't really hiding there. I wasn't hiding.
So anyway, Dad, sign off for us.
Yeah, sign off. Yeah, absolutely sign off. Absolutely.